Good day, everyone. So today we shall be diving into the part two of our topic, building construction. The last lesson we learned about the site preparation for building construction. And so today, after site preparation, what follows, we are going to have reading to look at the design for the building and then lay the foundation. So today, in the lesson of today, we'll be looking at the comprehensive guide to the initial stage of building construction, from planning, setting out to excavation and concrete work. So let's dive into this. So for us to go into the design, we need some construction team, and they're just four in number. One of the members of the construction team is an architect. In a building construction, you need an architect, someone that will need to be consulted first to determine the building needs and the design specification. So that's the work of this person or this specialist or expert. He will need to determine it will help he or she will help to determine the building specification and the needs. Followed by the structural engineer. The structural engineer reviews the design and then specify the material that is required and the type of material that is required as well, so that the materials can strengthen the building. Okay, so we then have another person or another expert known as the quantity surveyor in this construction team. This person studied the work drawings, the design that have been drawn. He studied it then and then determined the cost of materials, the labor that will be used, and then the workmanship that follows. And lastly, the construction company. These companies are the ones that come to execute the building construction itself if it's being granted to them. So these four experts forms the construction team before we can talk about the design and the laying of the foundation of the building. We need these four experts in this construction team. So thereafter, we can now talk about the setting out, that the process of the foundation. Okay, so building construction begin with setting out. And what is setting out? Setting out simply means the process of transferring foundation plan from the paper, okay, from the architect drawing paper to the ground with high accuracy. Okay, so when you transfer whatever the architect has in his drawings into the ground, into the site, then we are setting out. Make use of wooden pegs, lines, and tapes to mark the building dimension to ensure precision before excavation begins. So it is important that markings are done with measuring instruments so that there will not be any error. So when we are transferring everything in the architect's drawing to the site, then it is called a setting out. Okay, so after setting out, we'll also need the working drawings. Okay, the working drawings that is with the architect. Okay, with that in the working drawing, we have the floor plan, you have the elevations, you have sections, maybe like kitchen, bathroom, office, store. We have detailed drawings for different purposes. Then you have the schedules for different days of working. Then we have the electrical plans and then plumbing plans. So these are the working drawings that will now be carried out after the setting out has taken place. So thereafter, we now look at the tools. What are the tools for setting out actually? Number one, we have the steel rule. This steel rule is for precise measuring. It's a precise measurement tool for accurate dimension marking. We also have the builder square. This builder square ensure right angles. If you want to get a perfect right angle and a perpendicular alignment, make it a builder square. And then we have the theodolite. It's an advanced surveying instrument for precise angular measurement. Okay, so After the setting out has been done, like I said before, using the drawing plans, okay, then excavation can now begin. Once foundation has been transferred, everything is done in the site. What follows is excavation. Excavation simply means digging the ground, okay, digging the ground. So for large structures like stadium or multi-story building, trenches for column or walls foundation are mechanically excavated. Okay, and bore pipe use mechanical boring equipment where specified. So when we are making different kind of diggings on the ground, holes here and there for piping, for other purposes, for wall foundation, these processes are called excavation. Okay, and they take place immediately after the um, foundation has been laid, that is setting out itself. Okay, but then during excavation, there is need for safety, timbering for safety. Timbering purpose is to support excavated pit wall to prevent collapse. You can see here. So it will support excavated pit wall. And secondly, is to protect workers and maintain trench integrity during construction. So there is need for timbering to support the excavated pit that have been created during the excavation and then serve as safety for workers. All right. So then after excavation have been done, there is need for concrete, concrete, uh, concrete of the floor, cementing the floor, the binding the materials together. Okay, it just simply means mixing cement with water and also with sand particles and stone. Okay, so this concrete is a composite material where binding materials solidify and bind inert particles of fine and coarse aggregate. So concrete helps in binding materials together so that the block can be stronger. So this is done after the excavation has taken place. Then, where the area of application of concrete is applicable in footings and foundation, like we have just said before. Then we can also use it for slabs and columns. So we do not use concrete for only foundations. We use it to make slabs, we use it to make columns. We also use it for lintels and beams. We use concrete also for steps, that's the staircase, and also walls. Now, the properties of concrete are number one, they resist decay. Okay, they have resistance to decay and moisture and corrosion as well from acid. So they cannot be corroded by acid, they cannot decay, and they cannot be destroyed by moisture. So these are the properties of concrete materials. So there is what we call reinforced concrete. Sometimes this concrete are also reinforced, they are supported more. Okay, apart from mixing cement with water and stone, okay, you can also add steel rod to this concrete. When you add steel rod to this concrete, it has been this is called the reinforcement of the concrete. They make the concrete stronger than the initial one. Okay, this concrete are so they're embedded with steel rod or even welded wire mesh for enhanced strength. So with this quality now, the concrete becomes strong, durable, hard, dense, not porous, fire resistant, and also economical. So these are the various processes involved after site preparation. Okay, we after site preparation, it goes with the foundation laying and concrete applications. So this is what we want to conclude on construction of buildings. I hope you have learned something today on this topic. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.